Hello everyone, thank you very much for inviting us today to present to you becoacht, a company that will hopefully change the way sports coaching is organized. One moment. Great, fantastic, thank you very much. My name is Frederik Roever and I'm the founder and CEO of becoacht. Before we kick off, I would quickly like to thank my team, which unfortunately cannot be here today, as we are currently preparing our launch, which will take place on the 3rd of February, the first day of the ISPO in Munich, the world's biggest sports trade fair. Let's begin. I'm sure you all know the following situation for one sport or the other. I'm going to make an example with regards to skiing. Imagine you're planning your skiing holidays and you would like to book a skiing instructor for the week. Currently, what you would do, you would pick up the phone, you would call the local tourist information desk. They would provide you with the number of the local ski school. You would have to pick up the phone again, call the ski school. There you would speak to an assistant. All she would tell you is that you should come to a certain place at a certain time. Being fully equipped and ready to go, you would show up at that spot right on time, but soon you will find out that the coach you're actually meeting doesn't match your expectations whatsoever. In front of you stands a very grumpy old man who will make this week everything but a success. This one week, which is probably the most expensive week of the year and probably the only week of holidays for another year. Based on this drama, we've created a platform called becoacht. becoacht gives sports professionals access to objectively rated coaches for all sports all around the world. And these coaches can be searched, selected, and booked within less than 3 minutes. All coaches are objectively rated based on 3 criteria: professionalism, creativity, and interpersonal skills. You only speak French? No problem at all. On becoacht, you can narrow down the search results based on by adding additional criteria such as age, language, specialization, equipment, and many others. This way, we make sure that athletes get the coaching he or she deserves. On top of this, we've created a service that we call Spend a Day with an Idol. Day after day, we onboard the best of the best in all sports all around the world. So skiing with Sven Kühnle or Mimi Jäger, surfing with Alex Tash, or bobsledding with Alex Mann is no longer a childhood dream and can be fulfilled by joining becoacht. This is, by the way, one of our key 3 marketing channels that we're using. So far, over the past 6 weeks, without even having a website, we onboarded 300 users, we onboarded 200 coaches, 50 idols, and 30 schools. We're probably receiving emails from 1 or 2 idols every day that want to join the becoacht family. Because of the work so far, we've received the ISPO Brand New Award. The ISPO is the biggest sports fair in the world, and the Brand New Award is the award, probably the most prestigious award for young startups in the sports world. Just a few words on the market. In Germany alone, athletes spend 2.3 billion euros a year on sports coaching. That excludes any fitness or health clubs or other club memberships. Assuming a 15% commission across all sports, we could achieve a revenue potential of around 300 million euros a year. Scaling that up for Europe brings you to a market of 1.2 billion. That sounds pretty exciting to me, doesn't it? Thank you very much.
Cool. Thanks so much. Stay on stage. Wait with me. We got some feedback for you.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, so what do you guys think? Like Airbnb for coaches? I don't know. Jawad, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty convincing in terms of the market size. It would have been nice to see a little bit more in your pitch about the user experience and the product. So I thought you kind of spent too much time on the, kind of story surrounding everything. I think it would be better to kind of jump right into what's the problem, what's the solution, why now? This is our product. Would have been interesting also to hear maybe about the competition. I'm sure there's maybe other companies in the space, and also since you've built this, what looks to be a very good marketplace platform. One question I had is why not also try other verticals, maybe tutoring, for example, because it's probably not very different from coaching.
What's your response to that?
Well, it wasn't a question, right? So
No, it was just some feedback.
You might have had one.
But I can still answer. So basically the idea is, obviously we're a small team. We have limited resources, so we have to focus on one vertical yet now, which is sports. So we spend all days talking to associations. Through partnerships with associations, we onboard schools, and through schools we onboard individual coaches. As our team, with regards to the idols, as our team consists of primarily out of sports professionals who are former golf professionals, BMX professionals, skiing professionals. They have a great network within the best of the best in all sports around the world, because everybody, it's a small family. It's like the High family. They all know each other.
Oh, that was nice. MG, what do you think?
Yeah, I also thought it was very interesting. I would wonder, like, what's the process like for onboarding these individuals? Is it very, your team intensive, doing one-on-one, trying to convince them on board? And I'm also curious as to what you're offering them. Do they do the same type of model? Can they set their own prices for this type of service? Okay,
so two things. With regards to the idols, yes, they determine their own pricing. It's roughly between 500 and 1,000 euros. It's great for them because even though when they are on tour, they can activate themselves through a mobile app at any place around the world for any time. So let's assume they don't have a coaching session for themselves in the afternoon. They can activate themselves and be booked by somebody who wanted to go skiing with a German professional. With regards, and they are very happy to do it, because only roughly 0.5% of all sports professionals can actually, once they finish their professional career, live off the money they made throughout the career, and therefore they are very interested to monetize their skill set once they are done, and many are done by the age of 30.
And I assume you're taking just a small cut of that, of what they're taking from themselves?
Yeah, well, basically it's a commission-based model. For all idols, we have a commission of 25% flat. For all normal coaches, we have a fee between 10% to 20%, depending on how easy it is for us to control if they try, as it's a marketplace, to go around the marketplace or not.
Cool. Megan, any comments?
A couple of thoughts. I mean, some of the has already been touched on. I think in any marketplace, focusing on the supply side up front is imperative, because as a consumer, you probably have one opportunity to capture me. So making sure that you have enough of the coaches there at the beginning, I think, is important. It sounds like you've got some plans in place to do that. I do have some questions about the role that your organization is going to play in ensuring that great customer experience, or whether or not you're just going to truly be the marketplace for the coaches and the consumers to interact. So if I have a bad experience, are you going to have any role in either sort of compensating me or enabling me to get reimbursed or anything of that effect, or is it just purely based on customer reviews?
It's both. Okay, so in order to actually build up the supply side, which you just mentioned, as quickly as possible, we've introduced something which is called the becoacht Gold status, which basically means as soon as a school onboards all the coaches that are registered with the school, they receive the Gold status, and this way the coaches of that school get shown at a higher frequency, at a more prominent place. Yes, there won't be any comments with regards to ratings of the coaches, but only a star system based on the 3 criteria that I mentioned earlier. That idols won't be rated at all, because they wouldn't want that. Otherwise, it would be much harder to get them on board. With regards to the idols, you buy a voucher, and then we have like an online chat function on the platform, so the idol can actually talk to his potential client. For the normal coaches, you buy a specific day and a specific date, and yes, up until 48 hours before the session, you can still cancel it. But with regards to reviews, no, it's based on users, such as like on Amazon or eBay.
Have you thought about ways of locking in the consumer? Because as a user, if I go there, I find a coach, that's great. You've made the handshake, I've found somebody. What compels me to keep transacting over your platform, as opposed to just developing a relationship with that coach offline where you won't get a cut of that?
Yeah, the problem that you're mentioning is not a problem with all sports. For example, if you look at ski touring, that is always very specific to a location. So you wouldn't go a ski tour always at the same location, so therefore you would always try to find the best coach for a certain location. Talking about tennis, for example, that's a very good example. Well, what we offer is you can not only book one session at a time, but you can book like a 5 or 10 session block, either at a little bit of a discount, whatever the tennis or the coach is willing to give. So therefore, you book the first session, and then you always have kind of a voucher system. You go on the page and say, tomorrow evening I would like to play tennis again. put in your remaining 9 vouchers, and then that way you always get the the user on the platform again. Another thing is, as we're onboarding schools, the coach can't actually do what he wants. So he can't go around the platform, because the schools in the midterm will hopefully use our tool as their coach management system. So they always have so they can basically put group courses or singular courses on the web, on becoacht, and say, on Saturday we offer a skiing course for children, which will be led by Justin, the skiing instructor.
Cool.
So that way you can't go around. Sorry.
So, Minfo, you have a very, very quick question. What does he do for you to invest in him?
First of all, I think the sports market per se is pretty interesting in terms of volume, in terms of willingness of customers to spend money. What I was wondering is the value that you provide in comparison to the traditional methods of how to book a coach is that the profile that basically make transparent has to be pretty accurate, so to speak, so that I can really pick the one that I want to get. And I'm just wondering of how you get that quality of assessment in the very first beginning, because if you fail in that point, there's no value, there's no point in making the booking over your platform.
2-sentence answer.
Okay, I'll keep it short. It will be more than 2 sentences.
Well
So first of all, we ask people, our coaches, when they onboard, to fill out a certain form. This includes interviews. We want to give the coach the chance to create an online character, so people know exactly who they will be dealing with. So that's part of the onboarding process, and before they don't finish the entire mask, they don't get activated on the platform.
Cool. That was 4 sentences. Thanks so much. Say thanks to them.